Cousin Billy would take me walking. Out through the backyard we go walking. Then he looked into my eyes. Lord knows to my surprise, the only one who could ever reach me was the son of a preacher man. The only boy who could ever teach
Today
me
we find ourselves in Abington at Strawberry Valley Golf Course, a local 9-hole municipal course that has a little more teeth to it than you might initially think. We're going to take you through the course today, show you the ins and outs, tell you why you might want to come test your game at Strawberry Valley.
being good isn't always easy, no matter how hard I try. When he started sweet talking to me, he'd come and tell me everything is alright. He'd kiss and tell me everything's alright. Can I get away again tonight? The only one who could ever reach me was the son of a preacher man. The only boy who could ever teach me was the son of a preacher man. Yes, he was. He was. Lord knows he was. Yes, he was.
I've got Johnny Rorke out with me here today on our course review, and Johnny, not quite as familiar with Strawberry Valley, but you've played it before. So what should people expect from this course?
You know, I mean, it's a little bit tight. You know, it's obviously only a 9-hole muni, but I mean, like you said earlier, I mean, it's got some teeth. It is something that you're gonna have to hit some different shots. You're gonna have to use a lot of clubs in the bag. So, you know, it's early on a Friday. I'm excited to get after it.
So we're here on hole 1. We'll take you through hole 1, about 230 yards from the tips. It's just a short par 4, obviously reachable for you. Driver for some, 3 wood for others, but not a lot of danger. If you look up the fairway, you've got trees on the left side, or on the right side, excuse me, some on the left side, not really in play. There's a bunker that protects the green in front on the right, but for the most part, if you keep it tight to the left side, you'll stay out of danger. So we'll see what we can do here. Opening tee shot early in the morning on a Friday. We'll see what we can do. All right, 2:30. We're gonna test our metal this morning. See what we got in the bag. We're going 3 wood off the tee. Oh, not in the bag. There you go, good start for the boys. That's why you don't put a second ball in the pocket right there. So a little chicken left on the bone. It's early. I'm gonna give myself a little bit of a break. Little wind, little dew, but about 40 yards here. The thing about the greens at Strawberry Valley that you'll learn is, for the most part, they slope off the course. One is really the only exception. It does slope back towards the street, but once you get to the back of the property, everything's gonna slope off the back. So here, you don't want to be long, leave yourself a downhill putt. That'll about do it. You flag in, guy?
Oh yeah,
Flag in. Oh. That's a flag out.
Flag out guy now.
Good part. Off to 2 we go. Hole number 2, about a 370 or so yard par 4. The last 100 yards is pretty straight downhill. If you can get it out there to about 240, there's a good chance you can catch that hill, roll right down. The trouble is, with that steep hill, you might leave yourself a downhill chip coming in. Very difficult green to hold. We'll show you that when we're up there, but we'll see how we do. Oh, I hope you're down there, Matt. That is right up the middle. Thank you. There's a little trouble left too. I say that in front of Johnny. You don't want to put that in his head, but that's what I've just done to my poor partner here. Little trouble left. You don't want to give the people at a clubhouse a scare.
That's the thing, if I remember correctly with the driver, even if you push it a little bit right, there's still those trees, but there's a net. So, you know,
that's right.
You can live with it if you push it a little bit right.
I do find down the left side too, it won't hurt you bouncing left. It does tend to slope back towards the middle.
You know what makes it easier? You just put it right down the middle. So that's what we're going to try to do.
Bingo. Off to the approach. So we didn't quite catch the last hill. Can't complain though, decent tee shot, got yourself a flat lie. This is kind of the in-between zone, right? If you can't get it all the way down there, you just want to make sure you get past this hill so you can leave yourself a relatively flat lie, excuse me. We're about 75 yards out here. This is one of the tougher greens on the property to hold, in my opinion. Little downhill shot, you don't want to carry it more than 65 yards, let it run out. So you're probably looking for something a little short of that out of the bag. So I'm going to throw one down here on 2, give you an idea. One of the quicker greens, too. It doesn't take much to get there. I got a little bit of an uphill putt, maybe slight right to left. But it really doesn't take much to get it there. And typically the pin's set up somewhere where it's going to slope away after. So you'll see, you miss it low side, and it's going to come all the way off here and leave you with a long putt coming back. Johnny, see if we can hammer that one home.
Anything from the first hole, you don't have to give it as much juice as you think. Like you were saying, especially with this pin placement, if you miss by, that's gonna leave a little bit of chicken left on the bone. So you gotta find that happy medium. Oh, slid there at the end, but you can see I barely tapped it, and that's still easily got there. But hey, anytime I'm tapping it from this distance, I'm totally fine.
People will tell you about these greens that they don't always roll completely true. And while that is the case, they're in pretty fair condition. You're gonna get a little bit more break than you think. You know, you come out here to a 9-hole muni, sometimes you're gonna think, all right, you know, I can just attack the hole, but you can get in a lot of trouble if you're not playing your putts right. We're on the 3rd hole here, and this is probably one of the most interesting and unique holes on the property. It's a par 5, and it plays every bit of a par 5 because your first shot is only about 110, 120 yards maybe uphill to reach the corner, and then it's a straight shot from there that's going to take you 2 to get to the green. There are basically 2 schools of thought on how to play this. Johnny's going to show you the first. You take a wedge or a short iron, get it to the corner, just put it out there, leave yourself a short shot in. When I play, what I try to do is I take a 4-iron out, try to just punch it low, let it run out, put a little draw on it, take it around the corner. Say maybe 2/3 of the time it works, I look like the smartest time in the room. The other third, you look like the dumbest. So we'll see who wins out here today.
Even if you go over without that draw, that's probably going to end up in the woods.
So I'll show you with a 4-iron now, and really the whole idea behind this is just to cheat a little bit, try to get yourself a little bit of extra distance. It's a risk-reward play. And that's coming right at our poor cameraman. Yeah, right off the rocks. So if you keep it low, it's hard to get hurt. You don't want to go long. Over the rocks is into the woods and over. To the wonky tee shot, one of the things that really makes this a tough par 5 to score on is the fact that when you see the green here, it slopes away to the back. So you're left with something where more than likely, you're hitting a middle iron into the green. Maybe you get a short iron in your hands if you've got 2 good shots on the books. But it can be a tough green to hold. You can see over there back out in the corner, Johnny's ball, he hit definitely on the front third of the green, pretty close to the front, and it rolled all the way out because it slopes back. So when you have a pin like this that's nice and tight to the front, sometimes the best option is to just leave it up short, let yourself putt up the hill. It can be a little tricky, Not always the tightest cut fringe here, but if you're comfortable enough to do it, sometimes it can work out for you. Didn't give it enough. A little fuzzy today. Got to give it more than that. So we're in 4 tee box now. This is another short par 4, but it's one that's not really the smartest thing to go after. To really honestly give yourself a good shot at getting there, you're probably looking to play driver. You can play 250, sometimes a little bit more. From the up tees, you can get it down to 240, 235. What you'll see here is you've got plenty of room on the right. What you can't see is over that hill, there's a nice belly. To the left, there's also some room, but the trees protect it. Now, in the last couple of weeks, actually, they've taken down a lot of trees on the side. Used to be a much more narrow shot, but now the play was always right is safe. Now you can go left and be safe. You don't want to go straight on because there's a sand trap right in front of the green. You'd like to be to either side of that. It's a very, very shallow green, so it's a small landing area for you. You're probably going to have to play a flop shot, get it up high, try to hold the green. This one, again, slopes to the back of the property. Feels like I'm saying it a lot, but these are tough greens to hold. It's no joke here. So get it up high, try to get it to stop. You'd rather not be making that shot over the sand trap. Try to take it to the left or the right. Went with the left approach on this one. Slight draw in, that's going to take it left of the trap, and that should be fine over there. Nice little sideways pitch up. Left myself maybe a little bit more distance than I wanted to, but an easier chip than trying to go straight over the trap and hold it. This is going to give you an idea of the difficulty that lies with this hole. We put ourselves in position A, stay left of the bunker, short little chip here. Pin is kind of middle. We're going to flop it up there, see if we can get it to hold. But there's a good chance it runs out down to the right. Went a little too far right at the pin though. And you see it's just going to keep trailing off, trailing off, trailing off. You see you come low side and it's just going to keep rolling out. That's not really bad distance control there. It's just such a heavy slope in 2 different directions. One from left to right and one from from front to back. So very tough green, but that's what kind of protects it on a short par 4. 5th hole here at Strawberry Valley. We're playing from the back tees today, but this is an interesting little hole. If you play up at the white tees, it's right about 200 yards. The Abington High golf team plays their matches here, and we've been told by good friends who have been members of that team that it's a strict rule from their coach. Pitching wedge, don't attack the green. Very narrow shoot here, narrow fairway, not a whole lot of landing area. So where we're at, we're about 230 yards back. I've just got an 8-iron in my hand, trying to get it out, comfortable distance, about 150, 155 yards out there, leave myself a short pitch in from there. It's a little bit of an elevated green, one of the easier on the property to hold, and one of the less contoured greens as well. So you really just want to make sure you're on the surface give yourself a chance at a birdie. If nothing else, get your par. Yeah, good kick, huh? That's another piece of this. There's woods on the left, but I've seen more pars than I can count from on the other side of the rocks in the woods. It's short, there's room, there's forgiveness, nothing right. Can't be right, but you'd rather just kind of play it left, take your medicine if you have to.
Personally, my favorite thing about this hole is you do have the power lines that run right through. It is a re-tee if you hit it. I know I've been in a group where one ball was going about 50 yards left, hit the wires. Hey, that's an easy re-tee. So not the end of the world, and sometimes it can even help you out.
Oh, that's pure.
Yeah, I'll play.
First par 3 of Strawberry Valley comes on the 6th hole. From the back tees, it's short. It's really about 110 yards. We gunned it today at 108. It's interesting from this angle. So the front tees are over somewhere completely different. From this angle, it's a very straight shot. You've just got a tree in your sight line for God knows what reason, but just to add a little bit, you know, to the mental process. So we're gonna pretend like that tree is not even there and just accept the fact that it's 108 yards right down the chute. We're gonna see if we can knock it close. That's got to go a little bit. Bang. Right on the front. I've played here more times than I can count now, and I'll tell you what, the pin, never not in front. They give you about 2 yards of landing area, and the green slopes back to the street. So it can kind of be a fool's pin sometimes. If you're looking to make a par, just put it out to the middle, 2-putt, simple green. But I know that the leagues here play this as the closest to the pin, so you see a lot of guys get a little too aggressive. This is bullseye range for Johnny. I'd expect this one in tight, 10 feet maybe. That's pretty. Little baby draw, catch a piece, just off the edge. So we left ourselves a nice little birdie putt, but first things first, not to turn this into an educational video, but we replace our divots here on this show. Number one pet peeve is walking up to a pockmarked green with a bunch of people who haven't replaced their divots. Tried to keep the pockets loose for you, so I don't have my ball marker with me today, but line up the putt. See if we can roll one in. I'm a stick out guy, but you know what? You just gotta make the magic happen. No, not at all. Don't need it. Didn't matter. Sometimes it's as simple as that. We make the game too complicated. 149 the distance on number 7 today. Back-to-back par 3s. In my vision, I always had hoped they'd put a second tee box over that way, maybe lengthen out this hole a little bit. This is a good middle iron par 3 though. Deep green, you got some room to work with. There is a bunker in front, but it shouldn't be in play for you. So just try to hit a comfy, nice 150 shot. See if you can run it close. If I can levy one complaint, sometimes it can be tough on this hole specifically, but on a few to find a nice level spot in the tee boxes. They've done a great job with this course in recent years. I'd have to hope that's next on the project list. Come in for me now, baby. Come on. Got my dance shoes on. Little breeze may be hurting here a touch. Sometimes this one can play a little bit longer. Maybe that's just my head.
Very straightforward though.
Very straightforward. Safety left, only trouble is right. Play the safe shot, trying to catch a piece left. It'll be just off the edge, nice simple chip up.
Well, it's 2022. But hey, that's a makeable par 5, you just gotta see it.
You can see off to our right here, that's Route 18. Those are cars whizzing by, so unless you want to have to, I don't know, pay some heavy insurance fees, probably want to keep it in the park here. Aim a little bit left. It's an easy green to hit. I shouldn't say easy. It's a hittable green, certainly. I've left myself a little bit of work here. Long birdie putt. See if we can get the flat iron hot. Go back to back. That's a little hot off the face. That's gonna need to hit a house. Yep, right off the edge of the hole. Well, Scotty Scheffler was saying that in Brookline just a week ago.
similar greens, I think.
Yeah.
We're going to roll this one. I'm not even going to line it up because frankly I haven't had a putt all day. Sometimes those things can go.
Little hot again. That's the tricky part of these greens, is they're way, way quicker than you would imagine. They look fuzzy, they can feel fuzzy sometimes, but they've got good roll to them. And that's a comebacker that you just have to have if you're trying to piece together around here. 8th tee box, finally time to get that driver back in your hand. There's only really about 3 holes that you get to use it here, but this one is a good opportunity. So you're looking at a very similar hole to 2, where it's a little up to start, and then you're gonna hit a hard downhill. So if you can catch that edge of the hill, it'll roll right to green front, which is especially important on this hole. Again, very similar to hole number 2. This is what I have to say I do love about this course. You come out here, it's very unassuming. You don't think much, 9-hole municipal course. You don't think that it's as well thought out as it is. But when you look at hole number 8 and hole number 2 and just how difficult those greens are, you realize that there are mechanisms in place around the course for it to protect itself from low scores. Yes, you can go low here. It's not a place that you should, labor to put up good numbers, but it can be difficult. You'd step up here, think, hey, I can reach this green. This is a really tough eagle to get, certainly, and a birdie can be a test sometimes. Give you a little look. We've got wind coming back at us today, so we're gonna try to keep it low, see if we can get it to that hill and maybe get a little run out. You've got telephone wires coming down your right side. You basically want to just kind of play it into the cone, keep it right along that line. There is a sand trap out there, but it shouldn't be in your landing area. A little too much right to left, but it will funnel back down. Just got to get down. Tough little left hop. Probably not going to catch the base of that hill, but didn't leave ourselves a bad chip either.
The thing with this one is you think the driver's showing frequently. You got to take advantage of it.
So it did go a little bit left off the tee, as I said. Was trying to draw it, hugged it a touch. So stayed, fairly in play, no problem, but got a leftward hop instead of the right, didn't come back down in the funnel. So now I'm contending with some trees. Wedges out of my hands. You want something that's gonna elevate a little bit. I know that this green has good run. As much as it doesn't look like it slopes off the back, it most certainly does. So pulled an 8-iron, just gonna try to pitch it, let it hit somewhere in that fringe in the front, see if it'll run out a little bit, but kind of pull the string on it if I can. Landed where I want, big hop, and that one's going to be gone, a little too far. Settle on down, right in the fringe. Got a putter in hand, not the worst option. Came a little bit off the back here at 8. Rolled into the fringe, but left myself a putt, didn't have to take the wedge up with me. You see the downslope at the edge of the green, it's gonna come a little bit left to right off of that. Not a terrible amount of break to this one. See if we can scare it. Nothing else, just trying to cozy it up, get myself a tap in par. Oh, should have chased it a little bit harder. There was less to that one than I thought. But you know what? Nice stress-free, and we're moving to 9. Bang. So here on 9, take pretty much everything we told you about 8 and just reverse it. An equally tricky green. This one slopes even harder out to the street with a big drop-off behind. There is a hill, so you don't want to be long. Short enough par 4. Driver can get you probably somewhere in a comfortable 60 to 40 yards left to go. So you've got a nice easy wedge into the green, which is important, trying to hold this one. Plenty of room to miss left. Might have to wait a little bit. One fairway is over that way. you don't want to miss right. You've got bushes coming down the side, 8 tee box. It's just a little bit hairier of a shot. So there's telephone lines coming down your right side. I always say the best way to go about it is kind of pick out that last one and use that as your aiming point. If you look over the hill, you can see the telephone poles and the tops of a couple of pine trees. That's typically a good point to take at. I will say a great Abington man by the name of Matt Whalen runs a league here on Thursday nights. One of the famous league participants is John O'Brien. And every time we approach this tee, John gives you a good little life lesson, a good reminder. Doesn't matter how the round's been going. When you get to the last hole, you just want to shine on 9. That's what we're doing today. Beauty. Oh, that is shining on 9. That's glistening. So we can't all be Johnny, right down the center, leaving himself very little work left. I got about 60 yards here, sitting up pretty nice, but you'll see steep downhill shot and the flag sitting up pretty shallow on the green, right in front. So you're looking at trying to loft this one up high, throw it up there, see if it could sit where it lands or pretty close to. That's a tall ask on this hole. Just gonna open that face up, widen the stance a little bit. Long, slow backswing. Up high, come down. And you can see that's about a yard or 2 yards deep of the flag on landing. And even getting it as high as it did, rolled out a pretty good bit there. So sometimes the play is to just leave it short and run up, but that one was a pretty good lie, so I figured give it a chance. Supremely well done. Oh my, hit it. And there you see the run out. Left ourselves some work here on 9, but it is coming back uphill. A little more comfortable feeling. See if we can make a little magic end this round nicely. Oh, didn't even give it a chance. That's gotta go. That's heinous. Heinous. So afraid about coming into our man Matt here with the camera. Yeah, thank you. I like that roll, gotta get some legs. Nice little tap in. And that's Strawberry Valley in the books for you. That's a round in the books here at Strawberry Valley in Abington. Johnny, you're never disappointed when you come to this course. It's a nice track. It's pretty well maintained, and it's a fairly feasible course. 18 bucks for a round of 9. We just went out and played 9 today. I think they get you for about 27 for a round of 18. So it's a place that offers a little more challenge, as we talked about in the beginning, than might meet the eye. You can come out here and you're not slopping around. It's going to test your game a little bit, provide you with enough challenges to feel like you're getting something out of the round.
No, absolutely. I mean, we did it today. You can hit different shots. You can hit different clubs. You come back tomorrow, we could play a whole different round.
Yeah.
You can go iron off the tee. You can hit different clubs. You can shape the ball different ways, and you're really not going to get hurt. You're not going to lose too many balls. I really tested the limits of that today, but it's a great round at Strawberry Valley, and it really has character. It has that grit and character that I think makes the South Shore golf course so great.
Yeah, fitting course for here in Abington. as we said, the town took it over a couple of, I don't know how many years back, but a few years back, and it's been in great condition since. The greens, as we said, they roll pretty quick, quicker than you might think. There's more to them. So it's not some course that you're going to go out here and just have a run-of-the-mill day and post a low number. You got to work for it. Good variety of shots, but at the same time, you can come out and say, all right, there's some shorter par fours. I can play my irons. I can get every club in my bag in one way or another, and I think that's something you have to appreciate.
No, absolutely. You never have a bad day when you play Strawberry Valley, and that was the case today.
Absolutely. So that's in the books for us. We're going to have another course for you coming up in a few weeks. You can check out our socials. We'll let you know where that's going to be, but until then, this has been Strawberry Valley right here in Abington.
Preacher's son, and when his daddy would visit, he'd come along. When they gathered around and started